You know, the Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
If all goes to plan, when do you think families would be able to feel prices going down, groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better?
No, I think we're going to become a rich... Look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like $200 billion with Canada. We owe $300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen.
Again, Donald Trump not answering a very basic question he was asked there. Bret Baier then said, can you trust Elon Musk? To which Donald Trump says, well, he's not really gaining anything. Here, play this clip.
Me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse. But I campaigned on this, Brett.
Have you thought about how to try to bring the country together, to reach out or to find common ground? Have you thought about that or how that might go?
I'd love to do it, but I would say this. We have to come together, but to come together, there's only one thing that's going to do it, and that's massive success. Success will bring the country together, but it's hard. And I say it's hard. I just signed a bill allowing for women not to have to be punished by men in sports. In other words, men are not going to be allowed to play in sports against women. It's ridiculous.
Some of your plays have raised some questions and had some pushbacks. 19 states' attorneys general filed a lawsuit, and early Saturday, a judge agreed with them to restrict Elon Musk and his government efficiency team, DOGE, from accessing Treasury Department payment and data systems. They said there was a risk of irreparable harm. What do you make of that? And does that slow you down on what you want to do?
No, I disagree with it 100%. I think it's crazy, and we have to solve the efficiency problem. We have to solve the fraud, waste, abuse, all the things that have gone into the government. You take a look at the USAID, the kind of fraud in there,
and you found
the money's going.
Things.
Well, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of money that's going to places where it shouldn't be going, where if I read a list, you'd say this is ridiculous, and you've read the same lists, and there are many that you haven't even seen. It's crazy. It's a big scam. Now, there's some good money, and we can do that through any one of a number. I think I'd rather give it to Marco Rubio over at the State Department. Let him take care of the few good ones. So I don't know if it's kickbacks or what's going on, but the people, look, I ran on this, and the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Prediction?
I hate to do it. I just say that I've watched this great quarterback who has, by the way, a phenomenal wife, okay? She's a Trump fan, she's a MAGA fan, so I happen to love her, okay? But she's a great person. I watched her being interviewed. I said, boy, that's pretty good. But she's great, and he's great. I guess you have to say that when a quarterback wins as much as he's won, I have to go with Kansas City. I have to go with Kansas City. At the same time, Philadelphia has a fantastic game. It's going to be just a great game.
Canada, in a closed-door meeting with business leaders, outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau warned that President Trump is serious about annexing Canada to make it the 51st state. Is he right? Is President Trump serious about planning to annex Canada?
Look, I think the Canadian people many of them would love to join the United States with no tariffs, with lower taxes, and I have all kinds of neighbors down in Florida that are Canadians that are escaping many of the liberal policies and have moved in. But look, what we're talking about
yes
here
or
is
no? First of all, I think some Canadians would disagree with you.
In the Western Hemisphere?
I think some Canadians would disagree with you, but just yes or no, is he planning to annex Canada?
Part of his policy. Well, I don't think there's any plans to invade Canada, if that's what you're talking about. But there is a lot of people that like what we have in the United States and do not like the last 10 years of liberal progressive governance in Trudeau. But really what you're seeing is a reassertion of American leadership in the Western Hemisphere, from the Arctic all the way down to the Panama Canal. And that's what we're talking about, from Greenland to Arctic security, to the Panama Canal coming back under the United States. America has avoided our own hemisphere, where we have the energy, the food, and the critical minerals for way too long. And you're seeing a reassertion of President Trump's leadership.
I remember a time when Republicans were very careful about and worried about the government, particularly unelected people.
Well, we can't trust the government anymore.
Having access to personal data.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You are the government.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, is that the American people now are saying that we have had our personal information shared and out there in the public.
But now Elon Musk has access to it.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is part of the administration that is helping us identify where we can find savings and what we can do. And he has gone through the processes to make sure that he has the authority
You're totally
the president has
comfortable with
granted
it.
him. I am today by the work that he's doing by identifying waste, fraud, and abuse. And his information that he has is looking at programs, not focusing on personal data and information.
Not focusing on it, but he has access to it.
We'll be continuing to talk to him about what all he has access to. But this audit needs to happen to make sure that we are going through a process that adds integrity back into these programs. And
I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word, it's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs, maybe. But, we inherited a mess.
Hi. This is my channel, Queen Tanya. I'm back. My topic is today, Donald Trump is not playing with Canadian to take over here, to turn it to 51st states. So this is my topic because the Prime Minister said he's not joking, and he's not joking for true. But I don't know why the Prime Minister give him all this power and authority for us here in Canada, because I don't think Donald Trump should say stuff like that, because we are independent in Canada. So why are he trying to take over Canada? And that don't make no sense, but probably it makes sense to Donald Trump. But enough people are gonna suffer in, because he need to take care of his own people in America, so we could focus. The Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, will focus what's going on in Canada here. So we don't need Donald Trump to come over here to turn it to the 51 states. That is controversial. That don't make no sense. So, but as I said before, I cannot stop them. We just have to hope for the best, because they already vote Donald Trump in to be president, and he think he got all this power. So I guess it's gonna go down. It's gonna be a tough fight with Canadian. If they have backbone, they will fight back, the American. But if they don't have backbone, Donald Trump will take over Canada for true. And we will gonna feel the pain and whatever going on here, because it's gonna take it over for true. But if the Prime Minister stand up and fight for us, then, we show that we are strong. We are not weak, because Donald Trump is looking for who we can devour. So if we stand strong here in Canada, he cannot take it over. And if we stand up and take the street and say, no way that's gonna happen. But Canadians, some of us, we're so afraid. We're so frightened for Donald Trump. We are afraid. We don't want to talk up. We don't want to speak up. We don't want to stand as one. But I think now, enough Canadian is standing up and demand that Trump better back up, because they are not going to give up their country to Trump. We are very independent in Canada. Why Donald Trump going to take over Canada? So we are very independent, so we don't need Donald Trump here. Yeah, so and he telling everybody he's going to take it over. That don't make no sense. So that is my saying. That is my 5 cents. We have to fight. We have to make sure Donald Trump not take over here. And subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And thumbs up. And subscribe. Peace out.